Good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Academy. Tonight we drift not through the vastness of space or the depths of geological time, but inward, into a universe equally profound and ancient, the very core of what it means to be alive, to sustain that life, and to transform the world into oneself. As we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Your city, your country, perhaps even what the night sky looks like outside your window. If you enjoy these peaceful explorations of science, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It truly helps this little corner of quiet curiosity grow. To those already subscribed, thank you sincerely for being part of this slow and thoughtful adventure. Right now, as you listen, forces older than mountains are shaping the atoms in your bones, and processes refined over billions of years are quietly at work within you. We tend to think of ourselves as distinct, defined by our skin, our thoughts, our unique experiences, yet at a fundamental level we are permeable, ever-exchanging, a constant flow. Consider for a moment the profound ancient truth that underpins all animal life, the need to take the outside world in. This isn't just about sustenance, it's about a continuous negotiation with the environment, a deep cellular conversation that began at the very dawn of multicellularity. The story we will explore over these quiet hours is that of the gastrointestinal tract, the digestive system. It might not, at first glance, seem as grand as exploding stars or drifting continents, but it is, in its own way, a cosmic marvel. It is a living river, a chemical crucible, a barrier, and a bridge. It is where the universe, in the form of sunlight captured by plants or the flesh of other beings, becomes you. This intricate system, often overlooked in its silent diligence, is a testament to evolution's patient artistry, a symphony of cells and molecules working in concert to sustain the miracle of life. To truly understand it is to glimpse the foundational elegance of biology, the deep wisdom encoded within our very form. It is a wonder that truly lulls not through stillness, but through the sheer, rich tapestry of understanding it weaves. Have you ever noticed the quiet rumble, the gentle sensation in your belly that signals hunger, or the subtle warmth that spreads after a satisfying meal? These are not mere bodily functions. They are echoes of an ancient fundamental imperative. They are the voice of a system that defines our very existence as complex organisms, a system that stretches back to the earliest moments when life decided to do more than simply absorb nutrients from its surroundings. Let's begin by considering the most basic yet profound architectural decision made by early life forms, the creation of a tube. Picture, if you will, the simplest form of animal life. Not a complex creature with organs and limbs, but a humble sack of cells, perhaps floating in a warm primeval ocean. For this organism to thrive, it needed to capture energy and building blocks from its environment. The earliest solution was simple: engulfment. A single cell could stretch and surround a particle of food, bringing it inside to be broken down. This is called intracellular digestion, and it still happens in our own white blood cells cleaning up debris. But what if the food particle was too large for a single cell to engulf? What if the organism was made of many cells, and only the outer ones could interact with the environment? Evolution's answer was elegant. Create an internal space, a specialized cavity, where food could be processed before being absorbed by individual cells. This was the birth of the gut, a tube within a tube. Our bodies, in their most fundamental design, are essentially a sophisticated tube running from mouth to anus, surrounded by another tube, our skin and musculature. This seemingly simple design is a masterpiece of efficiency, a testament to the power of specialization, allowing for a continuous one-way flow of nutrients and waste, maximizing the extraction of precious energy. Imagine this early primordial gut. It's not yet the intricate winding pathway we know today, but perhaps a simple pouch, or a blind-ended sac. Yet even in this rudimentary form, it represents a monumental leap in biological engineering. Instead of each cell fending for itself, a collective effort begins. Cells lining this internal cavity specialize. Some begin to secrete powerful chemical agents, primitive enzymes, that can break down complex food molecules into simpler absorbable units. This is extracellular digestion, happening outside the individual cell, but inside the organism's managed environment. Consider the profound advantage this offered. A larger meal could be consumed, processed, and absorbed over time, rather than in discrete tiny portions. The organism could consume a wider variety of foods, adapting to its environment with greater flexibility. This internal chamber became a protected chemical reactor, a controlled environment where the harsh chemistry required for digestion could unfold without damaging the organism's own delicate cellular machinery. It was here, in this ancient internal river, that the first true distinction between self and not self was chemically defined. What was allowed in, what was broken down, and what was ultimately incorporated into the organism's own living fabric. The gut became the first great transformer, turning the chaotic bounty of the outside world into the ordered complexity of life. This simple, ancient tube laid the foundational blueprint for all complex animal life. From the simplest worms to the most intricate mammals, the Sequoia plan persists, albeit with countless evolutionary modifications. It allowed organisms to grow larger, to develop specialized tissues and organs, and to move away from a purely sessile existence. The gut is, in a very real sense, the interface where our internal world meets the external. Though it is inside us, the contents of our digestive tract are technically still outside the body, separated by a delicate yet formidable barrier of cells. It is a continuous dynamic exchange, a testament to life's persistent negotiation with its surroundings. So, we've begun our journey at the very beginning, with the elegant simplicity of the primordial gut. But this ancient river, this fundamental tube, was destined for far greater complexity. How did this basic design evolve into the intricate specialized system we find within ourselves today, a system capable of such nuanced transformation? That question leads us into the fascinating story of specialization, of organs taking on unique roles, and the emergence of a digestive symphony. Welcome back, dear friends, to our quiet explorations within the Dreamy Academy. As the starlight filters through the cosmic canvas outside, we turn our gaze inward once more into a universe equally profound and ancient. Last time we marveled at the primordial genius of the unwind, fundamental design which transformed the very concept of sustenance, creating a protected chemical reactor within the nascent animal body. It was, we concluded, the first great transformer, the interface where the raw universe began its journey to become you. But that ancient tube, while revolutionary, was merely the blueprint. Imagine, if you will, the first single-celled architect sketching a rudimentary dwelling, a simple, hollow cylinder. Life, however, is never content with simplicity. It yearns for efficiency, for elegance, for a more profound mastery over its environment. How, then, did this basic foundational tube evolve into the intricate, specialized, and breathtakingly complex digestive system that orchestrates the symphony of your own being? This is the grand narrative we embark upon tonight, a story of differentiation, of specialized genius, and of a patient artistry honed over eons. Consider that initial tube, a continuous, relatively uniform channel. While effective for basic nutrient extraction, it lacked the capacity to handle diverse and challenging foodstuffs with optimal efficiency. To truly thrive, life needed more. It needed distinct chambers, each performing a unique, specialized task, much like a meticulous artisan's workshop, where different tools are kept for different stages of creation. This is where the magic of regionalization begins, a process of folding, twisting, and sculpting that transformed a simple conduit into a multifaceted marvel. We observe first the emergence of the stomach, a primordial pouch that swelled and specialized, becoming a churning acidic crucible. Here, within its muscular walls, the mechanical breakdown of food began in earnest, aided by potent digestive acids. This acidic environment, a daring innovation, served not only to denature proteins, initiating their breakdown, but also acted as a formidable barrier against unwelcome invaders, a first line of defense against the microbial world. Imagine the audacity of housing such a caustic environment within the delicate confines of a living body, a testament to evolution's ingenious solutions at protecting its host while aggressively dismantling the external world. It is here that the concept of, quote, is first truly subjected to a rigorous acidic interrogation, preparing it for the deeper embrace of the, quote, yes. Beyond the stomach, the tube stretched and coiled, transforming into the wondrous expanse of the small intestine. If the stomach is the initial crucible, the small intestine is the grandest alchemical laboratory, the primary site where the essence of your meal is truly absorbed. But how does one maximize absorption from a relatively narrow tube? Evolution's answer is a triumph of surface area engineering. The small intestine is not merely a smooth pipe. It is a landscape of microscopic mountains and valleys, a vast folded tapestry. Its inner lining is covered in millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi, and each of these villi is, in turn, carpeted with even tinier projections called microvilli. This intricate architecture, like a dense forest reaching for the light, expands the absorptive surface area to an astonishing degree, equivalent to the size of a tennis court. It is here that the broken-down molecules, the simple sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids, are finally welcomed across the cellular threshold, flowing into the bloodstream, becoming woven into the fabric of your very being. We witness here the epitome of patient artistry, a system designed for maximum engagement, ensuring that every precious nutrient is given the opportunity to contribute to life. And then, as the journey continues, we arrive at the large intestine, a final, crucial chamber. Its role is different, yet equally vital: to reclaim the precious water and electrolytes from the remaining indigestible material, compacting what is left into a form suitable for elimination. But the large intestine is more than just a water reclamation plant. It is a vibrant, bustling metropolis, a symbiotic ecosystem teeming with trillions of microscopic inhabitants, our cherished gut microbiome. This partnership, forged over millions of years, is one of the most profound examples of coevolution. These tiny beings, our silent partners, aid in the digestion of fibers we cannot break down ourselves, synthesize essential vitamins, and play a crucial role in shaping our immune system. They are, in essence, an extension of our own digestive machinery, a testament to life's profound interconnectedness, where, quote, 7 and, quote, T blur into a harmonious shared existence. But the gut tube, however specialized its regions became, could not perform its complex tasks alone. It needed assistance, specialized adjuncts that would bud off from its ancient lineage, evolving into the crucial accessory organs we now cherish. We speak here of the liver, the pancreas, and the gallbladder, organs that, though not directly part of the digestive tube, are utterly indispensable to its function, each a master of its own domain. Consider the liver, that magnificent multitasking organ, the grand alchemist of the body. Emerging as an outpouching of the primitive gut, it evolved into a metabolic powerhouse, performing over 500 vital functions. For digestion, its primary gift is the production of bile, a remarkable fluid that emulsifies fats, breaking them into smaller droplets, making them accessible to digestive enzymes. Without bile, the absorption of dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins would be severely compromised. But the liver's role extends far beyond bile. It processes absorbed nutrients, detoxifies harmful substances, synthesizes proteins, and regulates blood sugar. It is the silent guardian, the grand central station of metabolism, continuously working to maintain the delicate balance required for life. Then there is the pancreas, a marvel of dual functionality. This elongated gland, nestled behind the stomach, performs both exocrine and endocrine duties. For digestion, its exocrine function is paramount. It secretes a potent cocktail of digestive enzymes, proteases, lipases, amylases, into the small intestine. These enzymes are the master keysmiths, precisely unlocking the complex molecular bonds of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, rendering them into their absorbable forms. Simultaneously, the pancreas's endocrine function produces hormones like insulin and glucagon, regulating blood sugar levels, a testament to its profound influence on the body's energy economy. It is a master of precision, delivering exactly what is needed, exactly when it is needed. And finally, the gallbladder, a small pear-shaped organ, a thoughtful storage facility for the liver's precious bile. It concentrates this vital fluid and releases it into the small intestine precisely when fatty foods arrive, ensuring efficient fat digestion. Each of these accessory organs, born from the very lineage of the gut, works in exquisite concert, orchestrating a seamless process of transformation. As this magnificent system evolved, so too did its capacity for self-regulation and communication. Imagine a sprawling factory, each department highly specialized, yet all needing to work in perfect synchronicity. This coordination is achieved through a sophisticated network of nerves and hormones. The gut, in its profound wisdom, developed its own intrinsic nervous system, the enteric nervous system, often called the second brain. This intricate web of neurons embedded within the walls of the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine can operate independently of the central nervous system, orchestrating the complex dance of peristalsis the rhythmic contractions that propel food, regulating enzyme secretion and controlling blood flow. Yet it is also in constant, intimate dialogue with the brain in your head, influencing not only your digestion but also your mood and overall well-being. It is a silent, tireless conductor, ensuring that the symphony of digestion plays on, uninterrupted and harmonious. So, from that ancient simple tube, we have witnessed a breathtaking journey of specialization, integration, and exquisite coordination. We have seen the emergence of distinct chambers, each with a unique purpose, and the development of powerful accessory organs, each contributing its specialized genius. We've glimpsed the bustling ecosystem of the microbiome and the silent, intricate wisdom of the enteric nervous system. The gastrointestinal tract, in its totality, is far more than a mere conduit. It is a living river, a chemical crucible, a bustling ecosystem, and a master orchestrator. It is a testament to evolution's patient artistry, a system refined over billions of years to perform the most fundamental of life's imperatives, to take the outside world in, dismantle it, and rebuild it into the miraculous entity that is you. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to reflect on the sheer wonder unfolding within your own body, right now, as you breathe, as you think, as you simply are. This grand, ancient process continues, a continuous act of transformation and integration. Next time, perhaps, we will delve deeper into the cellular mechanisms, exploring the very gates through which the universe enters. Or perhaps we will journey into the intricate world of its immune defenses. For now, let us rest in this quiet awe, appreciating the profound genius of our internal landscape. Thank you for joining me on this slow and thoughtful adventure. Until next time, may your curiosity remain peacefully alight. And so, we journey onward, my dear companions, past the grand architectural marvels we observed in our last quiet exploration. We have stood in awe of the primordial tube's ancient wisdom, traced the revolutionary specializations of stomach, small and large intestines, and acknowledged the indispensable partnership of the liver and pancreas. We have even glimpsed the profound intelligence of the enteric nervous system and the bustling, symbiotic world of our microbial cohabitants. Yet, to truly understand the essence of gastroenterology, to truly appreciate the profound artistry of life, we must now narrow our gaze, allowing our minds to become microscopes and descend into the very heart of the digestive process. We move from the grand, sweeping vistas of evolutionary design to the breathtaking intricacies of the cellular realm, where the true alchemy of life unfolds. For what good is the most efficient chemical crucible, the most potent digestive enzymes, if the precious molecules they release cannot cross the sacred boundary from the sesquiotias tangest of the gut lumen to the costnialem vestos of our very being? This, my friends, is the profound mystery and the miraculous daily reality we now seek to unravel, the exquisite dance of absorption. Imagine, if you will, that we are sailing gently down the lumen of the small intestine, that magnificent quote. From our vantage point, the inner surface appears not as a smooth, uniform wall, but as a landscape of astonishing complexity, a vast, undulating terrain designed with a singular, brilliant purpose to maximize contact. It is here, in this realm of quiet wonder, that we witness the first layer of this architectural genius, the pliques circulaires, or circular folds. These are not mere wrinkles, but grand sweeping ridges of the intestinal lining, rising like gentle hills, slowing the flow of the chyme and forcing it to spiral, ensuring a more thorough mixing and exposure to the absorptive surface. They are the initial elegant curves in a path designed for intimacy. As we draw closer, perhaps hovering just above one of these plicae, we begin to perceive an even finer resolution, a landscape teeming with life. From these folds emerge millions upon millions of tiny finger-like projections, swaying gently in the current of digested nutrients. These are the avilian, each a miniature forest, a verdant growth reaching into the lumen. Each villus, a mere millimetre in height, is a marvel of biological engineering. Within its delicate core we find a rich vascular network, a capillary bed, a vibrant crimson tapestry ready to receive its bounty, and a central lymphatic vessel, the lacteal, a pale, eager conduit awaiting the fat-soluble treasures. This intricate internal architecture ensures that once a nutrient crosses the cellular barrier, it is swiftly whisked away into the body's circulation, maintaining the steep concentration gradient essential for continued absorption. It is a testament to nature's patient artistry, designing a system where form and function are in perfect harmonious embrace. But our journey into the microscopic continues, for even the villi, in their countless numbers, are not the final frontier of surface enhancement. Let us zoom in further still, until we can clearly discern the individual cells that line each villus. These are the parenterocytes, the true gatekeepers, the sentinels of our inner world. And what do we observe on their apical surface, the side facing the intestinal lumen? A breathtaking spectacle, a dense velvety carpet of even tinier hair-like projections, each one a microscopic extension of the enterocyte's membrane. These are the microvilli, collectively known as the brush border. If the plicae are the hills and the villi are the trees, then the microvilli are the countless leaves, each one a tiny active surface, bristling with enzymes and transport proteins. This extraordinary layering, folds, villi and microvilli, magnifies the absorptive surface area of the small intestine to an astonishing degree, equivalent to that of a tennis court. It is a silent declaration of life's unwavering commitment to efficiency, a testament to the fact that every square nanometer matters in the grand quest for sustenance. Now, let us bring our focus to a single enterocyte, one of these remarkable gatekeepers. It stands as a sophisticated biological filter, selectively permitting passage for the myriad molecules that once comprised our meal. This is where the true alchemy takes place, where the simple act of eating transforms into the complex process of cellular nourishment. Consider first the carbohydrates, our primary source of immediate energy. After the diligent work of enzymes like amylase and disaccharidases, the complex starches and sugars have been broken down into their simplest forms: glucose, galactose, and fructose. These monosaccharides now present themselves at the brush border, awaiting entry. For glucose and galactose, the journey begins with an active transport system, a microscopic pump, if you will, called SGLT1. This protein requires the co-transport of sodium ions, drawing both glucose, galactose, and sodium into the enterocyte against their concentration gradients, a clever use of electrochemical potential. Once inside the enterocyte, these sugars then exit into the bloodstream via facilitated diffusion through another transporter called fair stool GLUT2. which resides on the basolateral membrane, the side facing the blood vessels. Fructose, a less demanding molecule, takes a slightly different path, entering the enterocyte via facilitated diffusion through GLUT and exiting via GLUT2. It is a carefully orchestrated ballet of molecular gates and channels, ensuring that every precious unit of energy finds its way home. Next, we turn our attention to the YAB proteins, the very building blocks of our existence. Digested by pepsin in the stomach and a host of pancreatic proteases in the small intestine, proteins are reduced to individual amino acids and also to small di- and tripeptides. These too must cross the enterocyte membrane. A diverse array of active transport systems exist for amino acids, each specific to certain types: acidic, basic, neutral. Even more remarkably, di- and tripeptides can be actively absorbed whole by the cypept transporter, and then, once inside the enterocyte, they are further broken down into individual amino acids by intracellular peptidases before being released into the bloodstream. This dual mechanism ensures maximum efficiency, a testament to the critical importance of protein in our physiological tapestry. Perhaps the most intricate journey of all belongs to the fats, our concentrated source of energy and the carriers of fat-soluble vitamins. Unlike carbohydrates and proteins, fats are hydrophobic, posing a unique challenge in the watery environment of the digestive tract. Here, the liver's contribution becomes paramount. Bile salts, produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, act as masterful emulsifiers, breaking down large fat globules into tiny droplets. Pancreatic lipase then goes to work, hydrolyzing these triglycerides into monoglycerides and free fatty acids. These products, along with bile salts, then form tiny water-soluble spheres called micelles. These micelles are the clever vehicles that ferry the otherwise insoluble fats through the watery lumen to the enterocyte surface. Once at the brush border, the monoglycerides and fatty acids passively diffuse across the lipid bilayer of the enterocyte membrane. Inside the cell, a remarkable transformation occurs. They are reesterified back into triglycerides within the endoplasmic reticulum. These newly formed triglycerides, along with cholesterol and phospholipids, are then packaged into larger lipoprotein particles called chylomicrons. Too large to enter the capillaries, these chylomicrons are instead exocytosed from the enterocyte and enter the lacteals, those central lymphatic vessels within the villi. From the lacteals, they travel through the lymphatic system, eventually draining into the bloodstream, bypassing the liver initially. It is a complex, multi-step process, a testament to the elegant solutions evolution has crafted for life's fundamental challenges. Beyond these macronutrients, our enterocytes are also responsible for the absorption of an array of vital vitamins and minerals, each with its own fascinating mechanism. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K, hitch a ride with the micelles and chylomicrons. Water-soluble vitamins, like the B vitamins and vitamin C, often utilize specific transporters, some requiring active processes, others facilitated diffusion. Vitamin B12, a particularly delicate molecule, requires a special escort. Intrinsic factor, secreted by the stomach to protect it and facilitate its absorption in the terminal ileum. Minerals like iron are absorbed with meticulous regulation, preventing both deficiency and overload, a testament to the body's sophisticated homeostatic controls. And, of course, throughout this entire journey, water and electrolytes are constantly being absorbed and secreted, maintaining the delicate osmotic balance essential for all cellular functions. While the large intestine is the primary site for extensive water reclamation, a significant amount is absorbed in the small intestine, following the osmotic gradients created by nutrient absorption. And so, as we reflect upon this intricate choreography, this tireless labour of the enterocytes, we are left with a profound sense of awe. Each meal we consume, each nutrient we absorb, is not merely a biological process. It is a symphony of cells and molecules, a testament to billions of years of evolutionary refinement. It is the very essence of transformation, the quiet magic that turns the external world into the very fabric of our being. We are, in a very real sense, made of what we absorb. The journey of these absorbed nutrients does not end at the enterocyte. Most, like the sugars and amino acids, are immediately delivered via the portal vein directly to the liver, that vigilant sentinel and master chemist, ready to further process, store, or distribute them throughout the body. The fats, travelling through the lymphatic system, eventually reach the general circulation, delivering their energy and structural components to cells far and wide. This continuous flow, this endless river of sustenance, is what fuels our thoughts, powers our movements, and rebuilds our very cells, moment by precious moment. In this deep dive into the cellular mechanisms of absorption, we have perhaps found a new appreciation for the quiet, diligent work happening within us perpetually, without our conscious command. We have seen how the macro-architecture of the gut is perfectly complemented by the micro-precision of its cells, creating a system of unparalleled efficiency and elegance. But even with this newfound understanding, the marvels of the gastrointestinal tract continue to unfold. For what of the subtle signals that regulate this absorption, the hormones and nerves that orchestrate this complex dance? And what of the formidable immune defences that stand guard within this vital interface between self and non-self? These, my friends, are further paths beckoning our peaceful curiosity, inviting us to continue our slow and thoughtful adventure into the wondrous universe within. For now, let us simply rest in the quiet contemplation of this cellular artistry, grateful for the profound transformation that sustains us all. And so, we journey ever deeper, beloved companions, tracing the intricate blueprints of life itself. We have marvelled at the primordial tube, witnessed its elegant specialization, and, in our last quiet exploration, stood in awe before the exquisite dance of absorption, observing how the very fabric of our external world is meticulously woven into the tapestry of our inner self. We saw the enterocytes, those diligent gatekeepers, orchestrating the passage of nutrients with a patient artistry that defies simple description. Yet, as we concluded that profound chapter, a whisper of unresolved mysteries lingered in the air, did it not? How, we wondered, is this sprawling, sensitive metropolis of digestion so perfectly coordinated? What invisible hands guide its rhythms, its secretions, its mighty contractions? And how, in the face of an external world teeming with both sustenance and peril, does this vital internal river maintain its sanctity, its precious balance? Tonight, we turn our gaze to these very questions, delving into the intricate symphony of regulation and the formidable bastions of immune defense that guard our inner sanctum. Imagine, if you will, the gastrointestinal tract not merely as a series of anatomical structures, but as a vast, bustling city, alive with activity. For such a city to function, it requires not only its diligent workers, the enterocytes, the muscle cells, the glandular cells, but also a sophisticated network of communication, a command center, and vigilant protectors. This is where our exploration of regulation and immunity begins. Let us first consider the maestros of this internal orchestra, the hormonal signals and the nervous system. They are the unseen conductors, ensuring that every enzyme is released at the precise moment, every muscle contracts with the appropriate force, and every nutrient finds its designated path. The digestive journey is a cascade of carefully timed events, each stage signaling the next. This exquisite sequencing is largely orchestrated by a suite of gastrointestinal hormones, chemical messengers secreted by specialized cells within the gut lining itself, traveling through the bloodstream to distant targets. They are the chemical whispers that guide the flow, the subtle cues that transform potential chaos into harmonious function. Consider, for instance, the moment food enters the stomach. The presence of peptides and amino acids, the very stretching of the stomach wall, triggers the release of gastrin. Like a clarion call, gastrin stimulates the parietal cells to unleash their potent hydrochloric acid, initiating the breakdown of proteins, and encourages the rhythmic churning of the stomach, preparing its contents for the next stage. It is the stomach's declaration, "Let the work begin." As this acidic chyme then makes its hesitant entry into the duodenum, a new set of signals arises. The acidity itself acts as a potent stimulus for the release of secretin. Secretin, a true peacemaker, travels to the pancreas, urging it to release a flood of bicarbonate-rich fluid, neutralizing the gastric acid and creating a hospitable environment for the delicate enzymes of the small intestine. It also nudges the liver to secrete more bile, preparing for the fats yet to come. Simultaneously, the presence of fats and proteins in the duodenum calls forth cholecystokinin, CCK. CCK is a multi-talented conductor. It stimulates the pancreas to release its full arsenal of digestive enzymes, the proteases, lipases, and amylases we discussed. And most dramatically, it causes the gallbladder to contract, squeezing its concentrated bile into the duodenum to emulsify those fats. Beyond digestion, CCK also travels to the brain, contributing to our feeling of satiety, a gentle reminder to pause and appreciate the meal. Then there is gastric inhibitory peptide, GIP, now often referred to as glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide. Released in response to fats and carbohydrates in the small intestine, GIP's primary role is to anticipate the incoming surge of glucose. It signals the pancreas to release insulin even before the glucose fully enters the bloodstream, priming the body for nutrient uptake. It also gently inhibits gastric acid secretion and motility, ensuring a measured pace. Finally, consider motilin, a hormone that acts like a housekeeper, sweeping through the digestive tract between meals. It initiates the ammigrating motor complex, MMC, a series of powerful rhythmic contractions that travel from the stomach to the large intestine, clearing out undigested food particles, bacteria, and debris, ensuring the lumen remains clean and ready for the next meal. It is the gut's way of resetting itself, a quiet preparation for future work. These are but a few of the principal players in this intricate hormonal ballet. Each hormone, with its specific triggers and targets, ensures that the digestive process unfolds with exquisite precision, a testament to the patient artistry of evolution. Yet, the gut's control extends far beyond chemical signals. It possesses an intrinsic nervous system so complex, so vast, that it is often referred to as the unquote 14. This is the enteric nervous system, ENS. A sprawling network of neurons embedded directly within the walls of the esophagus, stomach and intestines, capable of operating largely independently of the brain in our skull. Imagine two dense, intricate nerve plexuses, the chamienteric, Auerbach's plexus, nestled between the outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle layers, and the submucosal, Meissner's plexus, residing in the submucosa. The myenteric plexus is the primary orchestrator of motility, the rhythmic contractions of peristalsis that propel food forward, and the segmentation contractions that mix it thoroughly. It ensures the ceaseless, wave-like movement that defines the, quote, 15. The submucosal plexus, on the other hand, primarily regulates secretion from the glands, local gas of blood flow, to the mucosa and reabsorption of nutrients. This, quote, 16 Sinden, is a marvel of local intelligence. It can sense the presence of food, the stretching of the gut wall, the chemical composition of the chyme, and respond accordingly without needing constant input from the central nervous system. It generates the complex patterns of muscle contraction and coordinates glandular secretions, all from within its own neural circuits. However, while largely autonomous, the ENS is not entirely isolated. It maintains a vital, bidirectional dialogue with the central nervous system, CNS, forming what we now understand as the Yonma-san gut-brain axis, the Susquehanna vagus nerve. A major component of the parasympathetic nervous system acts as a primary superhighway, carrying signals from the brain to the gut, influencing motility and secretion, and, crucially, carrying a far greater volume of sensory information from the gut to the brain. This constant feedback loop informs the brain about the state of our internal environment, influencing our mood, our appetite, and even our cognitive functions. The sympathetic nervous system, often associated with, quote 17, generally inhibits gut activity, slowing things down in times of stress. Together, the hormonal and nervous systems weave a tapestry of control, ensuring that every bite we take is met with a perfectly calibrated response, a symphony of digestion played out with precision and grace. But what of the other unresolved question, the guardians of this inner world? The gut lumen, while the site of nourishment, is also a vast interface with the external environment. Every morsel we consume, every sip of water, introduces a myriad of microorganisms, potential toxins, and foreign antigens. How does our body navigate this constant influx, distinguishing friend from foe, nutrient from pathogen? This brings us to the formidable and exquisitely sophisticated immune defenses of the gut. Imagine the gut as a fortress, designed with multiple layers of protection, each working in concert to maintain the integrity of the self. Become a first line of defense, guys, is a physical and chemical barrier, a silent yet immensely powerful shield. We have the mucus layer, a thick, viscous blanket produced by goblet cells, coating the entire epithelial surface. This mucus acts like a sticky trap, physically impeding the movement of bacteria and toxins towards the delicate epithelial cells. It also contains antimicrobial peptides and antibodies, adding a chemical dimension to its protective role. Beneath this, The epithelial cells themselves are stitched together by incredibly strong, tight junctions, preventing the uncontrolled passage of substances between cells, ensuring that only what is carefully selected can enter our internal milieu. Our stomach acid acts as a powerful chemical weapon, a sterilizing bath that eradicates most ingested pathogens before they even reach the small intestine. Further down, specialized cells like Paneth cells in the small intestine secrete a host of antimicrobial peptides like defensins and lysozyme, directly attacking and neutralizing bacteria. Beyond these physical and chemical barriers lies the true heart of the gut's immune system, the tract, gut-associated lymphoid tissue, GALT. This is not a single organ, but a diffuse and organized collection of immune cells strategically positioned throughout the intestinal wall, forming the largest immune organ in the body. Within the small intestine, we find the prominent Peyer's patches, oval-shaped aggregations of lymphoid follicles visible to the naked eye. These are like mini immune surveillance stations. Overlying them are specialized M cells, microfold cells, which are like scouts, actively sampling antigens from the gut lumen and presenting them to the underlying immune cells. This constant sampling allows the immune system to, quote, 18 what is present in the gut, distinguishing harmless food particles and beneficial commensal bacteria from dangerous pathogens. Within the epithelial layer itself reside intraepithelial lymphocytes, IELs, a unique population of T cells that act as immediate responders, sentinel cells poised to detect and neutralize any threat that breaches the initial barrier. Beneath the epithelium, in the lamina propria, a diverse army of immune cells awaits: T cells, B cells, plasma cells, macrophages, and dendritic cells, all ready to mount a targeted response. Perhaps one of the most elegant features of gut immunity is the production of secretory IgA, SIGA. Plasma cells in the lamina propria produce IgA, which is then actively transported across the epithelial cells into the gut lumen. There, SIGA acts like a molecular net, binding to pathogens, toxins, and food antigens, neutralizing them and preventing their adherence to the mucosal surface, all without triggering an inflammatory response that could damage the delicate gut lining. It is a sophisticated form of, quote, justice, maintaining peace while ensuring protection. And let us not forget the profound role of the gut microbiome in immune defense. This vast community of trillions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses is not merely a passenger. It is an active participant in training and modulating our immune system. A healthy microbiome competes with pathogenic bacteria for resources and attachment sites, produces beneficial metabolites that strengthen the gut barrier, and constantly communicates with immune cells, teaching them tolerance and appropriate responses. It is a symbiotic relationship where the microbial residents contribute significantly to the fortress's strength. As we bring this chapter to a close, take a moment to reflect on the sheer brilliance encoded within this system. The gut is not merely a tube that processes food. It is a meticulously regulated, highly intelligent, and fiercely protected inner universe. It is a testament to the profound interconnectedness of life, where chemical whispers, electrical impulses, and an army of microscopic defenders work in seamless harmony to transform the external into the internal, to sustain and protect the very essence of who we are. We have now explored the grandeur of its design, the precision of its function, and the vigilance of its protection. But what happens when this delicate balance is disrupted? What stories do the symptoms tell when the symphony falters? These are the questions that await us in our next quiet exploration as we begin to understand the language of disruption and the pathways to healing. For now, rest in the wonder of this magnificent internal world. And so we journeyed together, you and I, through the intricate choreography of the gastrointestinal tract, marvelling at its evolutionary triumphs, its cellular artistry, and the profound wisdom encoded within its regulatory networks and robust defences. We watched, captivated as a symphony of hormones and neurons orchestrated digestion, and we stood in awe before the formidable fortress that shields us from the myriad threats of the outside world. But even the most magnificent river, carved through eons of patient artistry, can sometimes encounter rapids, its serene flow disrupted by unforeseen forces. Even the most perfectly tuned instrument, capable of the most sublime melodies, can occasionally strike a discordant note, and so it is with our internal universe, this living river within us. Tonight, my dear friends, we turn our gaze to a different facet of this extraordinary system, its vulnerability. We listen closely, with a quiet and reflective mind, to the whispers of imbalance, to the language of distress that our gut speaks when its delicate equilibrium is disturbed. It is a language often misunderstood, sometimes ignored, but always vital, for it is the body's way of calling for attention, of signalling that the harmonious dance has faltered. Imagine, if you will, the bustling cityscape of the gut, where millions of cells work in concert, where the microbiome thrives in its inner garden, and where signals flow seamlessly along the enteric highways. What happens when a traffic jam occurs, or when a vital bridge is damaged, or when the delicate balance of the garden is suddenly overthrown? The consequences ripple through the entire system, manifesting as sensations, feelings, and experiences that we collectively refer to as symptoms. These are not merely annoyances, they are profound communications, urgent messages from our deepest self. One of the most universal expressions of disruption is pain. It is a primal alarm, a sensation that demands our immediate attention. In the gut, pain can arise from a multitude of sources, each telling a subtly different story. Is it the dull, persistent ache that hints at inflammation, a silent battle waged within the mucosal lining? Or perhaps the sharp, cramping spasm, a visceral cry from an overstretched or hyperactive muscular wall, signalling distension or an attempt to forcefully expel an irritant? We feel this as the visceral peritoneum, rich in nerve endings, responds to stretching or irritation, or as the smooth muscle layers, in their rhythmic contractions, become uncoordinated or overly forceful. The pain can be localized, pointing to a specific region under duress, or diffuse, a more generalized lament from the entire system. It is the enteric nervous system, our, quote, 20, interpreting these physical cues and relaying them, often with urgency, to the central nervous system, demanding action. Then there is nausea, that unsettling wave of unease in the stomach, often preceding the forceful expulsion known as vomiting. This is a powerful, protective mechanism, a swift and decisive act of rejection. Our body, with an ancient wisdom, determines that something ingested is harmful, a toxin, an irritant, or an unwelcome pathogen, and it initiates a rapid reversal of the digestive flow. The signals for nausea and vomiting are complex, originating from the chemoreceptor trigger zone in the brain, stimulated by circulating toxins, from the vagal nerve, responding to irritation in the gut, or even from higher brain centers, influenced by stress, fear, or unpleasant sights and smells. It is a dramatic, albeit unpleasant, demonstration of the gut's unwavering commitment to self-preservation, a clearing of the path to prevent deeper harm. Consider, too, the profound disruption of diarrhea, where the carefully regulated process of water absorption falters and the contents of the bowel rush through with uncharacteristic speed and fluidity. This can be a sign of many things. Perhaps there is an osmotic imbalance, where unabsorbed substances in the lumen draw water from the body, much like a sponge soaking up liquid. Or it could be secretory, where the intestinal cells are actively pumping fluid into the lumen, a common response to certain bacterial toxins. It might also be inflammatory, where the integrity of the mucosal barrier is compromised, leading to exudation of fluid and blood. Whatever the cause, diarrhea represents a profound loss of the gut's ability to reclaim precious water and electrolytes, a rapid emptying that, if prolonged, can lead to dehydration and imbalances that threaten the body's delicate internal environment. It is the gut, in a sense, flushing itself clean, but at a cost. On the opposite end of the spectrum lies constipation, a slowing, a stagnation in the flow of our internal river. Here, the transit time through the colon becomes excessively prolonged, the stools harder, and the act of defecation difficult and infrequent. This too speaks volumes. It may whisper of insufficient dietary fibre, the necessary bulk for healthy stool formation, or inadequate fluid intake, leaving the colon to extract every last drop of moisture. It might hint at a sluggish motility, where the peristaltic waves have lost their rhythmic vigour, or perhaps a disruption in the complex neurological coordination required for defecation. Medications, lifestyle factors, and even emotional states can contribute to this slowing, transforming the smooth, continuous journey of waste into a hesitant, uncomfortable crawl. It reminds us that even the final act of elimination is a finely tuned process, deeply intertwined with our overall well-being. Then there are the more subtle yet equally pervasive symptoms like bloating and gas. This sensation of fullness, distension, and excessive flatus often arises from an imbalance in the delicate ecosystem of our gut microbiome. Certain bacteria, when fed particular carbohydrates, produce gases as byproducts of their fermentation. If this production is excessive, or if the transit of gas through the bowel is impaired, or if the gut itself has become hypersensitive to normal volumes of gas, the uncomfortable sensation of bloating ensues. It is a conversation between our diet, our microbial inhabitants, and our gut's sensory perception, a reminder of the intricate interplay within our inner landscape. And who among us has not experienced the burning discomfort of heartburn, or the generalized unease of dyspepsia? Heartburn, that fiery sensation rising from the chest, is often the protest of the esophagus against the acidic reflux from the stomach, a breach in the protective barrier we discussed earlier. Dyspepsia, a broader term, encompasses a range of upper abdominal symptoms, pain, fullness, nausea, that suggest a disruption in the stomach's emptying, its acid production, or its sensory responses. These symptoms are the direct consequence of the stomach's powerful acidic environment, which, while essential for digestion and defense, must be carefully contained and regulated. Finally, let us consider the profound implications of dental malabsorption. We have celebrated the gut as the ultimate transformer, extracting life-giving nutrients from our food. But when this intricate process breaks down, when the enterocytes fail in their selective absorption, or when the digestive enzymes or bile salts are insufficient, the body begins to starve, even in the presence of food. Weight loss, fatigue, and specific nutrient deficiencies become the body's desperate plea. We might see steatorrhea, fatty stools, a clear sign that dietary fats are not being adequately digested or absorbed. This is a direct consequence of a breakdown in the cellular machinery and the accessory organ contributions we explored in Chapter 3. It is a stark reminder of our absolute dependence on the gut's efficiency. What these symptoms reveal, my dear companions, is not merely a localized issue but often a systemic ripple effect. The gut, as we have learned, is not an isolated organ, but an integrated universe, in constant dialogue with the central nervous system through the gut-brain axis. Stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil can manifest directly in gut symptoms, accelerating motility or slowing it down, intensifying pain perception, or altering secretions. Conversely, chronic gut issues can profoundly impact our mood, cognition, and overall mental well-being, creating a bidirectional feedback loop that underscores the deep connection between our inner emotional landscape and our physical reality. The gut, in its distress, often reflects the state of our entire being. Listening to these symptoms is an act of profound self-care, a conscious engagement with the wisdom of our own body. They are not to be dismissed as mere inconveniences, but to be understood as signals, as a language that, once deciphered, guides us toward understanding and ultimately toward healing. The journey of interpreting these messages, of seeking the root cause of the imbalance, is where the art and science of medicine truly converge. It is a path that often requires patience, careful observation, and the expert guidance of those who have dedicated their lives to understanding this complex internal world. We stand now at a threshold, having explored the magnificent design and the potential vulnerabilities of our gastrointestinal tract. As we move forward, we will delve deeper into the pathways to restoration, the ways in which we can support this incredible system when it falters. For even in disruption, there is a profound lesson, a deeper understanding of the intricate dance of life within us, and an enduring sense of awe for the resilience and adaptive capacity of the human body. Let us carry this quiet curiosity forward, embracing the knowledge that even the whispers of imbalance hold keys to greater wisdom. As the echoes of disruption begin to gently recede, leaving us with a deeper understanding of the gut's profound language of distress, we turn our gaze now toward the pathways of restoration. We have journeyed through the intricate architecture of this internal universe, witnessed its evolutionary marvels, and learned to interpret its subtle signals when equilibrium is lost. But what then, my dear companions, when the symphony falters, when the river encounters an obstruction, or the delicate garden of our inner self yearns for renewal? How do we, with intention and wisdom, nurture this extraordinary system back to its vibrant health? Tonight, in the soft glow of our dreamy academy, we embark upon an exploration not of illness but of healing, not of breakdown but of rebuilding. It is a journey into the remarkable resilience of the human body and the conscious choices we can make to support its inherent capacity for repair. This is where our understanding blossoms into action, where knowledge becomes a gentle hand extended in care. Imagine, if you will, the gastrointestinal tract not merely as a biological machine, but as a living, self-regulating ecosystem, a garden that, while robust, still thrives under the gardener's thoughtful hand. When the soil is depleted, or the delicate balance of its flora is disturbed, we do not despair. Instead, we seek to replenish, to cultivate, to restore harmony. This, in essence, is our approach to gut restoration. It begins with a fundamental re-evaluation of our daily rhythm, our choices, our very relationship with the world that sustains us. The bedrock of gut health, and indeed of overall well-being, lies in the daily rituals we often take for granted. Let us first consider nourishment, not merely as fuel, but as medicine, as communication, as the very building blocks of restoration. We have seen how the gut transforms the external into the internal, how it extracts life from the world around us. Therefore, the quality of what we offer it is paramount. Think of whole, unprocessed foods as the purest, most vital nutrients for your inner garden. The fibre found in fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains is not just inert bulk. It is the very prebiotic fertilizer that feeds the beneficial microbes residing within your large intestine. It is the architect of stool, the gentle sweep that keeps the river flowing. By embracing a diverse array of plant-based foods, you cultivate a rich and varied microbiome, fostering a thriving inner ecosystem that, in turn, supports digestion, immunity, and even mood. This is not about restriction, but about abundance, an abundance of colours, textures, and the vital energy locked within nature's bounty. Beyond the plate, the rhythm of our lives plays a profound role. Consider sleep, that quiet, restorative darkness where the body performs its most profound repairs. When we drift into slumber, the gut, too, enters a phase of renewal. Digestion slows, allowing for deeper cellular repair and the consolidation of energy. Chronic sleep deprivation, conversely, can stress the enteric nervous system, disrupt hormonal balance, and even alter the gut microbiome, making the gut more permeable, a subtle crack in its protective barrier. To honour your gut, honour your need for rest. It is a patient artistry, this process of sleep, a nightly reset button for the entire system, including our internal river. And what of movement? Our bodies are designed for motion, and the gut is no exception. Physical activity, even gentle daily walks, acts as a natural stimulant for gut motility, encouraging the rhythmic contractions that move food through the digestive tract. It aids in the healthy transit of waste, preventing stagnation and supporting regularity. Moreover, exercise can positively influence the gut microbiome, fostering diversity and the growth of beneficial species. It is a subtle dance, a kinetic conversation between muscle and intestine, ensuring the river flows unimpeded. Perhaps the most potent, yet often overlooked pathway to restoration lies in addressing the invisible currents of our inner world. Stress. We have touched upon the profound bidirectional dialogue of the gut-brain axis, how the mind influences the gut and vice versa. When stress becomes chronic, it can trigger a cascade of physiological responses that directly impact digestion. Altered motility, reduced blood flow, increased gut permeability, and shifts in microbial balance. Therefore, Cultivating practices that calm the nervous system is not merely a luxury, it is a fundamental act of healing for the gut. Mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, engaging in creative pursuits. These are not just tools for mental well-being, but direct interventions for gastrointestinal health. They signal to your enteric nervous system that the threat has passed, allowing it to return to its harmonious digestive functions. It is an act of gentle persuasion, whispering peace to the Quote 21. Beyond these foundational lifestyle choices, we can offer more targeted support to our gut when it needs a helping hand. Rebuilding the microbiome is often a cornerstone of restoration. We've discussed prebiotics, the fiber that feeds our beneficial bacteria. Now, let's consider probiotics. Live microorganisms that, when administered in adequate amounts, confer a health benefit on the host. Think of them as beneficial seeds that you intentionally plant in your inner garden. Found in fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha, or taken as supplements, probiotics can help replenish depleted strains, strengthen the gut barrier, and modulate the immune system. However, the choice of specific probiotic strains and their efficacy can be highly individual, underscoring the personalized nature of gut healing. It is a nuanced art, this reseeding of the internal landscape. Another vital aspect is the conscious choice to reduce inflammation. Many gut issues, from the subtle discomforts to the more serious chronic conditions, have an inflammatory component. Embracing an anti-inflammatory dietary approach, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish, flax seeds, antioxidants, berries, dark leafy greens, and spices like turmeric, can help quell the internal fire. Equally important is identifying and, if possible, eliminating potential dietary triggers that may be causing inflammation or sensitivity for you. This often requires a period of mindful observation, perhaps even a guided elimination approach, to truly listen to your body's unique responses. It is a detective's work, patiently uncovering the subtle culprits that might be disrupting the gut's peace. And let us not forget the simplest, yet most profound act of care. Hydration. Water is the very essence of life, the solvent that allows all biochemical reactions to occur. For the gut, it is the river itself, maintaining the fluidity of digestive contents, facilitating nutrient absorption, and ensuring the smooth passage of waste. Dehydration can slow motility, harden stools, and contribute to constipation, making the gut's work more arduous. A consistent intake of pure, clean water is a fundamental, non-negotiable act of kindness to your entire digestive system. Ultimately, the journey of gut restoration is a testament to the body's extraordinary capacity for healing and adaptation. It is a process that demands patience, consistency, and a deep empathetic connection to our own internal landscape. We are not merely fixing a broken part, we are re-establishing a profound relationship with a living, intelligent system that is intrinsically connected to every facet of our being. As we conclude this chapter on restoration, I invite you to reflect on the profound empowerment that comes with this knowledge. You're not a passive observer in the health of your gut. You're an active participant, a conscious gardener, a gentle guide. Every mindful meal, every moment of calm, every step taken in movement, every hour of peaceful sleep, these are all acts of profound care. whispered affirmations to the ancient river within. The gastrointestinal tract, this cosmic marvel, this first great transformer, is always striving for balance, for health, for its harmonious symphony to play on. Our role, enlightened by understanding, is to provide the conditions for that symphony to flourish, to offer it the respect and nourishment it so richly deserves. It is a journey of continuous learning, a dance of give and take, profound partnership with the very essence of life within us. And in this partnership we find not just healing, but a deeper appreciation for the wondrous miracle that is our own existence. Thank you for joining me on this quiet exploration. May your inner rivers flow clear and strong. Welcome, cherished companions, to this final, quiet chapter of our shared journey, a journey inward, into the very heart of what it means to be alive, to digest, to thrive. The air in our dreamy academy tonight feels different, doesn't it? A gentle hum, a collective breath held in anticipation, a sense of profound completion, and, paradoxically, a new beginning. We have traversed the ancient river of life, tracing its currents from the first bite to the deepest cellular exchange. We have explored its wondrous landscapes, from the bustling microbial cities to the intricate neural networks. We have understood its vulnerabilities, the subtle imbalances that can ripple through our entire being, and charted pathways to its restoration. Tonight, we gather not merely to conclude, but to elevate our understanding, to weave together all the threads of our exploration into a grand tapestry that reveals the gut not just as an organ system, a mere processing plant, but as a profound orchestrator of our entire existence. As the gentle, diffused light of our dreamy academy softly illuminates the space between us, a light that always seems to encourage introspection and connection, I invite you to settle once more into that peaceful curiosity. Feel the quiet anticipation in your own core, that gentle opening of your mind and heart to a deeper truth. We have spoken of the gut as a living river, an ever-flowing current of sustenance and transformation. We've called it a chemical crucible, where the raw materials of the world are transmuted into the very essence of you. And yes, we've explored its role as a chastun, I quote Dustin 24, a complex neural network mirroring the one in our skull. But now let us consider it with even greater reverence, as the very root system of our being, the foundational intelligence that grounds us, nourishes us from the deepest levels, and profoundly shapes our perception of the world, much like the roots of an ancient tree draw wisdom and sustenance from the earth to support its soaring branches. Recall, if you will, the intricate, almost mystical dance of the gut-brain microbiome axis, a concept we touched upon, yes, but whose true depth extends far beyond mere physiological regulation. This axis is not just a communication highway, a simple one-way street of signals. Oh no, it is infinitely more profound. It is a simple, symbiotic consciousness, a dynamic, ceaseless interplay between our enteric nervous system, that sprawling network of neurons embedded in our gut walls, our central nervous system, and the trillions upon trillions of microbial inhabitants within our lumen. Imagine, if you can, a silent, ceaseless dialogue, a cosmic hum of biological information exchange happening within you every single second. It is here, in this invisible yet potent conversation, that the very essence of our well-being is forged, moment by precious moment. It determines not just how we feel, but who we are influencing everything from our deepest cravings to our most fleeting moods. Think of it. The gut, with its vast network of neurons, often numbering more than in the spinal cord itself, its rich endocrine cells producing a symphony of hormones, and its astonishingly diverse microbial community, is constantly interpreting the world, both internal and external. It is a sophisticated sensory organ, tirelessly gathering intelligence. It senses the nutrients we absorb, distinguishing between life-giving fuel and empty calories. It registers the toxins we encounter, sending urgent alerts. It keenly feels the stress we endure, tightening and churning in response to our anxieties. And crucially, it relays this information, not just as cold, hard data, but as feeling, as a palpable sense of mood, as a surge or drain of energy, to the command center of our brain. This is why a troubled, inflamed gut can so profoundly cloud the mind, stirring anxiety like a storm, or dampening our spirits into a heavy fog. Conversely, a calm, well-nourished gut can foster clarity of thought, resilience in the face of challenge, and an undeniable bubbling joy. The gut doesn't just process food, it processes life itself. It is a sensory organ of profound sensitivity, translating the raw, often chaotic material of existence into the rich, felt experience of being. We often speak of the brain as the undisputed seat of consciousness, the singular architect of our thoughts and perceptions. But what if, I ask you, the gut is its anchor, its deep wellspring drawing up the very waters of our awareness? Consider the vagus nerve, that majestic wandering nerve, a true marvel of biological engineering. It is not merely a conduit, a simple cable carrying messages. It is a bustling, dynamic two-way street. And here's the astonishing part. It carries far more information from the gut to the brain than the other way around. Let that sink in for a moment. This suggests a profound, almost revolutionary truth. Much of what we perceive as, quote 25, our emotional landscape, the subtle intuitive nudges that guide our decisions, even deeply ingrained aspects of our personality, may be deeply influenced, if not actively co-created, by the bustling, vibrant ecosystem within our abdomen. Your unique microbiome, a biological fingerprint shaped by your diet, your environment, your experiences, whispers incessantly to your brain. It influences your cravings, subtly pushing you towards certain foods. It dictates your sleep patterns, determining the quality of your rest. It modulates your stress response, affecting how you react to pressure. And yes, it even influences your social behavior, shaping how you interact with the world around you. It is a living testament to your unique journey, constantly evolving and interacting with your inner world, a silent partner in every waking moment. This deeper understanding moves us beyond the concept of merely restoring the gut when it is ailing, a reactive approach to a problem. Instead, it propels us towards a more expansive, proactive vision of cultivating profound harmony within this internal universe. Restoration is about bringing things back to baseline, to a state of acceptable function. Cultivation, on the other hand, is about nurturing continuous growth, enhancing resilience, and optimizing function to its highest potential. It is a proactive, conscious engagement with our inner landscape, a commitment to tending this delicate, intricate ecosystem with the same reverence and meticulous care we would bestow upon a sacred garden, ensuring every plant, every creature thrives in perfect balance. How, then, do we cultivate this harmony? We continue the practices we explored in our last session. Yes, the diverse whole food nourishment, the mindful movement that invigorates both body and spirit, the restorative sleep that allows our systems to repair and reset, the compassionate stress management that soothes our nervous system. But now we approach them not merely as prescriptive remedies, as tasks to be checked off a list. No, we embrace them as acts of profound self-care, as conscious offerings to the intricate intelligence within us. When you choose a colourful array of plant-based foods, you are not just feeding yourself, you are feeding the diverse array of beneficial microbes that, in turn, produce compounds that nourish your gut lining, modulate your immune system, and even synthesize neurotransmitters that uplift your mood. You are participating in a beautiful reciprocal exchange. When you breathe deeply, truly deeply, you're not just calming your mind. You are sending a powerful signal of safety and peace down the vagus nerve, directly soothing the very neurons of your enteric nervous system, telling your gut. Quote 26. This sustained cultivation of harmony is a continuous dialogue, a lifelong relationship with your internal self. It requires attentiveness, a willingness to truly listen to the subtle whispers and profound pronouncements of your gut. It asks you to observe, with a gentle curiosity, how different foods make you feel. The immediate sensations, the lingering effects. It challenges you to notice how stress manifests physically within your digestive landscape, and how moments of joy ripple through your entire being, often beginning in your core. It is an invitation to become an active, engaged participant in your own biological symphony, adjusting the tempo, fine-tuning the instruments, ensuring every part plays its role in exquisite balance, creating a masterpiece of well-being. And what of the future? You might ask, gazing into the horizon of scientific discovery. As our scientific tools become ever more sophisticated, ever more precise, we are beginning to unlock the deepest secrets of personalized gut health. Imagine a future not so far away, where, with a simple, non-invasive analysis of your unique microbiome, we can tailor dietary recommendations, probiotic interventions, and even lifestyle adjustments with unprecedented precision. We are moving towards an era where understanding your gut's unique composition and its metabolic capabilities will be as fundamental to health as knowing your blood type or your genetic predispositions. This is the promise of a truly holistic and individualized approach, where the one-size-fits-all model gives way to a nuanced, respectful appreciation of your singular biological narrative, allowing for truly bespoke wellness strategies. But even as science advances, pushing the boundaries of what we know, the timeless wisdom remains steadfast and true. The gut is not a machine to be fixed, a broken part to be replaced. No, it is a living, breathing, feeling entity to be honored, revered, and cherished. It is the first great transformer turning the outside world, a meal, a drink, into the very building blocks of you. It is the vigilant protector standing guard against intruders, a formidable fortress of immunity. It is the subtle communicator, whispering truths, warnings, and joys to your brain. It is the silent, unwavering partner in every thought, every emotion, every breath you take, a constant presence beneath the surface of your awareness. As our dreamy academy draws to a close, and the soft light seems to deepen around us, I wish to express my profound gratitude for your presence, your open minds, and your willingness to embark on this introspective journey with me. To truly understand the essentials of gastroenterology is to understand a fundamental truth about life itself, that our existence is an intricate dance of interconnected systems, a constant, beautiful flow between inside and outside, self and other. May this newfound appreciation for your magnificent internal universe inspire you to nurture it with wisdom, with kindness, and with unwavering respect. May you learn to listen to its ancient language, to understand its deepest needs, and to honour its profound, often unseen contribution to your vitality, your clarity, and your joy. For within the quiet hum of your digestive tract lies a cosmic marvel, a testament to billions of years of evolution and the very foundation of your boundless potential. Carry this wonder with you, always. The journey inward continues long after our session ends. Thank you. And so, here we are at the threshold of our final, most expansive reflection within the quiet embrace of the Dreamy Academy. We have journeyed far, haven't we? From the primordial simplicity of the us quote to 28, to the intricate dance of cells and signals that orchestrate our inner world. We have witnessed the patient artistry of evolution, the relentless pursuit of balance, and the profound wisdom encoded within our very being. Now, as the starlight outside perhaps begins to yield to the first faint blush of dawn, we gather all these threads, all these luminous insights, to weave a tapestry of understanding that transcends mere anatomy or physiology. For what we have been exploring is not just an organ system, it is, I believe, the very root system of our being, a foundational intelligence that shapes the entirety of our human experience. Think back with me for a moment. We began by marvelling at the gut's ancient origins, its initial purpose to discern and assimilate, to draw life from the external world. This fundamental act, the sacred distinction between Cus quote 29 and Cus quote 30, has echoed through eons, culminating in the sophisticated symphony we observe today. We trace the journey of a single morsel, broken down by the stomach's acidic crucible, meticulously absorbed by the vast folded landscape of the small intestine, and finally refined by the patient reclamation of the large intestine, where our microbial partners hold court. We saw the indispensable contributions of the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder, each a master alchemist in this internal laboratory. We then peered closer to the cellular ballet of absorption, where carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are not just broken, but transformed, crossing the delicate membranes of enterocytes to nourish every cell of our bodies. This is not a passive process, but an active, intelligent discernment, guided by an unseen hand. And what a hand it is! The intricate regulation of this system, you'll recall, is a marvel in itself, a cascade of hormones, gastrin, secretin, CCK, GIP, motilin, each a precisely timed messenger, orchestrating digestion with exquisite precision. And then the enteric nervous system, our quote from 31, operating with remarkable autonomy, yet always in deep bidirectional conversation with the central nervous system, via that astonishing superhighway, the gut-brain axis. This axis, this continuous dialogue, has emerged as one of the most profound revelations of our journey. It's not just that the brain influences the gut, it is equally, if not more, true that the gut profoundly influences the brain. Remember the vagus nerve, the great wanderer, carrying far more information from the gut to the brain than the other way around. This suggests a deep intuitive wisdom emanating from our core, influencing our moods, our cravings, our sleep patterns, our stress responses, and even in subtle ways, the very nuances of our personality. The gut, then, is not merely a digestive tube, it is a primal sensor, an emotional barometer, a wellspring of instinct and intuition. And within this inner universe, we discovered the vibrant, bustling metropolis of the gut microbiome. These trillions of microorganisms, once viewed as mere passengers, are now understood as integral co-creators of our health. They are our tireless partners in digestion, our vigilant guardians against pathogens, and crucial modulators of our immune system. The gut-associated lymphoid tissue, GALT, with its Peyer's patches and the tireless work of Secretary EGA, stands as a testament to the gut's role as a formidable immunological frontier, a place where the delicate balance between tolerance and defense is constantly negotiated. Our microbiome, we now understand, is not just a community. It is a symbiotic consciousness, deeply intertwined with our own, influencing our well-being in ways we are only just beginning to grasp. When this intricate harmony falters, the gut speaks to us in a language of disruption. Pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, gas, heartburn, malabsorption. These are not random afflictions, but profound signals, urgent messages from our inner landscape, often echoing imbalances within the gut-brain microbiome axis. They are invitations to listen more closely, to understand the subtle narratives our bodies are trying to tell us. And having listened, having understood, we then explored the pathways of restoration. These are not complex medical interventions, but rather a return to fundamental wisdom, whole food nutrition, rich in prebiotics to nourish our microbial allies, restorative sleep, allowing our systems to repair and reset, regular gentle movement, which acts as a rhythmic massage for our internal organs, and the crucial art of stress management, calming the nervous system that so profoundly impacts gut function. We spoke of targeted support, probiotics to bolster beneficial flora, anti-inflammatory diets to soothe irritated tissues, and consistent hydration to facilitate every metabolic process. These are not mere treatments. They are acts of conscious partnership tending to the garden within. Now, as we stand here, having traversed the vastness of gastroenterology, what is the ultimate truth that emerges? It is this: the gut is not simply a processing plant for nutrients. It is the very foundation of our vitality, a profound intelligence that orchestrates our physical health, shapes our emotional landscape, and influences our cognitive clarity. It is the first great transformer, turning the external world into the very fabric of our being, and in doing so it constantly defines and redefines who we are. This understanding, I believe, calls us to a new paradigm, a shift from merely restoring balance when it's lost, to actively cultivating profound harmony as a lifelong practice. We move beyond reactive measures to proactive reverence. Imagine the future of this partnership. Science is only just beginning to unlock the deepest secrets of the unique microbiome within each of us. What if we could truly understand the precise needs of our individual microbial communities? What if personalized gut health becomes not just a concept, but a living reality, guided by an intimate dialogue between cutting-edge science and our own intuitive wisdom? We are on the cusp of an era where advanced diagnostics will allow us to map our unique microbial landscapes with unprecedented detail, where nutritional science will transcend general recommendations to offer tailor-made dietary blueprints, and where our understanding of the gut-brain microbiome axis will empower us to truly integrate mind, body, and spirit. We will learn to speak the gut's language not just of disruption, but of thriving, of optimal function, of joyous vitality. This is the promise of our ongoing adventure, a continuous journey of discovery that invites us to forge a deeper, more conscious partnership with our own bodies. It is an invitation to listen, to learn, to nurture, and to marvel at the cosmic wonder that resides within us. The gastrointestinal tract, then, is not just an essential system. It is truly the heart of our internal universe, a constant source of wonder and a profound guide to living a life of vibrant well-being. Thank you for embarking on this introspective journey with me. Thank you for your quiet curiosity, your thoughtful engagement, and your willingness to explore the profound beauty of what lies within. May this understanding deepen your appreciation for the intricate dance of life, and may it inspire you to cultivate ever greater harmony within your own magnificent being. The Dreamy Academy may pause its broadcast for now, but the adventure of self-discovery, fueled by the wisdom of your gut, has only just begun. Go forth, then, with this newfound reverence, and live in conscious partnership with the miraculous intelligence that sustains you. Welcome back, dear friends, to our quiet explorations within the Dreamy Academy. As we journey deeper into the profound landscape of our own being, we arrive at a vantage point from which the gastrointestinal tract reveals itself not merely as a system, but as the very root system of our existence, a symbiotic consciousness deeply intertwined with our every thought, feeling, and action. We've unravelled its ancient architecture, witnessed its tireless alchemy, and come to understand its intricate dialogues with the brain and the microbial universe within. Now, we pause to consider what it truly means to live with this knowledge, to consciously cultivate this inner garden, and to honour the silent wisdom that perpetually flows from our core. We left off contemplating the gut's immense influence, a tapestry woven with threads of mood, cravings, sleep, stress response, and even the subtle nuances of personality, all orchestrated in part by the vagus nerve carrying vital information from the gut to the brain. This is not a passive observation, is it? This is an invitation, a gentle beckoning to step into a more active, more reverent relationship with ourselves. Think of it. If the gut is indeed the root system, then our well-being, like a magnificent tree, draws its vitality directly from the health and harmony of these roots. This understanding transforms our approach to self-care from a series of external interventions into an act of profound internal stewardship. It asks us to listen more intently, to feel more deeply, and to honour the subtle signals that emanate from this ancient core. How then do we consciously cultivate this inner universe? It begins, I believe, with presence. In a world that often pulls our awareness outward, bombarding us with demands and distractions, the gut invites us inward. It encourages a mindfulness that extends beyond the plate, permeating our entire day. When we eat, do we truly taste, truly savour, truly feel the nourishment entering our system? Or do we consume mindlessly, driven by habit or external cues, missing the intricate dance of digestion that begins with the first bite? To cultivate our gut is to practice this sacred awareness. It is to recognize that every morsel we choose, every moment of rest we allow, Every breath we take in stillness sends ripples through this sensitive ecosystem. We are not just feeding a body, we are tending to a vast intelligent network of cells, microbes and neurons that respond with astonishing grace to our thoughtful attention. Consider the simple act of gratitude. When we approach our food with a sense of appreciation for its journey from soil to plate, when we acknowledge the energy it holds and the life it sustains, we are not merely performing a ritual. We are, in a very real sense, communicating with our gut. This positive intention, this calm receptivity, primes our digestive system, reducing stress responses and enhancing the very processes of breakdown and absorption. It is a testament to the profound interconnectedness of mind and body, a practical application of the gut-brain axis. Moreover, conscious cultivation extends to the rhythms of our lives. Our gut, like an ancient clock, thrives on regularity, on the predictable ebb and flow of day and night. Sleep, that mysterious nightly journey, is not merely a cessation of activity, but a vital period of repair and renewal for our entire body, and especially for the delicate lining of our gut. During these quiet hours, our gut cells regenerate, our microbiome rebalances, and the intricate neural networks consolidate their learnings. Disrupt this rhythm, and we disrupt the gut's patient artistry, leading to imbalances that can manifest in myriad ways, from digestive discomfort to shifts in mood and energy. Movement, too, is a language our gut understands. The gentle sway of walking, the invigorating stretch of yoga, the rhythmic engagement of dance. These are not just exercises for our muscles and cardiovascular system. They are subtle massages for our internal organs, stimulating peristalsis, enhancing circulation, and fostering a sense of fluidity and ease within the abdominal cavity. Our gut, in its wisdom, appreciates the flow, the dynamism that mirrors its own tireless movements. But perhaps the most profound aspect of conscious cultivation lies in learning to interpret the gut's subtle whispers. We have spoken of the language of disruption, pain, nausea, bloating, as explicit cries for help. Yet before these urgent signals there are quieter, more nuanced communications, a gentle flutter of intuition, a gut feeling about a decision, a sudden aversion to a particular food, or an inexplicable surge of energy after a meal. These are not random occurrences. They are part of the gut's continuous dialogue, its way of sharing its wisdom and its state of being. Our gut, you see, acts as a sophisticated sensory organ, an interface with the world that extends far beyond the 5 traditional senses. Through its vast neural network and the biochemical signals generated by its microbial inhabitants, it constantly samples and interprets our environment, the food we eat, the air we breathe, the emotions we feel, even the social energies we encounter. It processes this information, often below the level of conscious thought, and relays it to the brain, influencing our cravings, our aversions, our sense of safety, and even our social interactions. Have you ever felt a sudden unease in a new situation, a la quote 36, that had no clear rational origin, or a spontaneous feeling of warmth and connection with someone, an immediate sense of belonging? These are not mere metaphors. These are the gut's profound interpretations, its ancient wisdom speaking through somatic sensations. By learning to tune into these subtle cues, we unlock a deeper layer of self-guidance, allowing our gut to become a trusted compass in navigating the complexities of life. This brings us to a philosophical contemplation that transcends mere physical health, the gut's contribution to our emotional and spiritual well-being. When our gut is in harmony, when its microbiome flourishes and its neural networks hum with balanced activity, there is often a corresponding sense of inner peace, a quiet resilience that allows us to meet life's challenges with greater equanimity. A well-nourished, balanced gut can contribute to a reduction in anxiety, an improvement in mood, and even an enhancement of cognitive clarity. It's as if the inner turbulence settles, allowing for a more serene and focused engagement with the world. This profound connection reminds us that we are not fragmented beings. The health of our digestive system is inseparable from the health of our mind, our emotions, and even our spirit. It's a holistic tapestry, where each thread influences the integrity of the whole. To nurture our gut, therefore, is to nurture our entire being, fostering a sense of wholeness and interconnectedness that resonates on every level. Looking ahead, the future of personalized gut health promises not just scientific advancement, but a deeper, more intimate understanding of our individual uniqueness. Imagine a future where, through sophisticated analysis of our unique microbiome, we receive tailored guidance that goes beyond general recommendations. This isn't just about treating symptoms, it's about understanding the intricate biochemical fingerprint of your internal universe and providing precise, individualized support to optimize its harmony. It's about moving from broad strokes to exquisite detail, respecting the singular symphony that plays within each of us. This personalized approach will extend beyond diet to encompass lifestyle recommendations, stress management techniques, and even bespoke microbial interventions designed to cultivate a microbiome perfectly suited to your genetic predispositions, your environment, and your aspirations for well-being. It is a future where our relationship with our gut becomes an ongoing, informed partnership, guided by both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science. Yet, even as science advances, the core principles remain timeless. The call to conscious cultivation, to present awareness, to respectful stewardship of our inner ecosystem will always be the bedrock of vibrant health. The future of gastroenterology, I believe, lies not just in new discoveries, but in a profound integration of these scientific insights with a compassionate, holistic understanding of the human experience. So as we draw this chapter to a close, I invite you to carry this newfound awareness into your daily life. Let it be a gentle reminder to listen, to feel, to nurture. Let the wisdom of your gut guide you, not as a demanding master, but as a trusted ancient friend. View your gut health not as a chore, but as an ongoing journey of discovery, a continuous act of gratitude, and a profound expression of self-love. For in tending to this living river within, we are tending to the very roots of our being, cultivating not just health, but a deeper connection to ourselves and to the marvelous tapestry of life itself. Thank you for sharing this quiet, contemplative adventure with me. May your inner universe thrive in harmony and peace. As our journey through the wondrous universe within, the gastrointestinal tract, draws us ever deeper into its profound mysteries, we arrive now at the precipice of a new dawn. We have walked through the ancient corridors of evolution, witnessed the meticulous artistry of cellular function, and felt the subtle symphony of hormones and nerves. We have learned to recognize the gut's language of disruption and embraced the wisdom of conscious cultivation. But what lies beyond, on the horizon of our shared understanding? What does a truly proactive, lifelong partnership with this internal cosmos truly entail as we step into tomorrow? Let us, together, gaze into this unfolding future, a landscape painted with the vibrant hues of personalized gut health. Imagine, if you will, a time not far from now, where the intricate dance of your unique internal ecosystem is no longer a veiled secret but an open book, gently illuminated by the twin lights of advanced science and profound intuition. This is the promise of personalized gut health, a bespoke tapestry of well-being woven specifically for you. We stand at the cusp of an era where broad, generalized health recommendations begin to yield to the exquisite precision of individual understanding. For too long, we have approached the gut with a one-size-fits-all philosophy, a well-meaning but often imprecise guide. Yet, just as no two rivers carve the same path, no two human beings possess the exact same internal currents, the same confluence of genetic predispositions, environmental exposures, and microbial inhabitants. This future invites us to honor that uniqueness, to cherish it, and to build upon it. The very foundation of this personalized approach rests upon a revolution in diagnostics, tools that allow us to listen to our internal symphony with unprecedented clarity. Consider first the silent, bustling cities of our gut microbiome. For centuries, these microscopic inhabitants remained largely invisible, their profound influence merely conjectured. Now, through the quiet hum of advanced sequencing technologies, we can begin to map these vast, intricate communities. We can identify not just the presence of certain species, but their relative abundances, their genetic potential, and even their active metabolic pathways. Imagine providing a small sample, and from it, receiving a vibrant, detailed portrait of your unique microbial fingerprint. This isn't merely a list of names, it's a living saga. We discover which species flourish, which languish, which are newcomers, and which are ancient residents. We can identify patterns of dysbiosis, those subtle imbalances that might whisper of future vulnerabilities or current discomforts. Perhaps a deficiency in butyrate-producing bacteria, key guardians of the gut lining, is revealed, or an overabundance of microbes associated with inflammation. This knowledge, once a distant dream, becomes a compass, guiding us towards specific targeted interventions rather than generalized guesswork. It allows us to understand why certain foods might soothe one person's system while agitating another's. It unveils the microbial architects behind your unique digestive rhythm, your immune resilience, and even, subtly, your mood. But the microbiome, while central, is just one voice in this grand chorus. Beyond the microbial residents, we are learning to decipher the chemical echoes of their activity and our own cellular processes through the burgeoning field of metabolomics. This is where we measure the small molecule metabolites, the very products and byproducts of cellular metabolism present in our blood, urine, or stool. Think of it as listening to the conversations happening within and between our cells and our microbes. What chemical signals are being exchanged? What nutrients are being produced or consumed? What inflammatory markers are present even before they manifest as overt symptoms? A metabolomic profile offers a functional snapshot, a dynamic picture of your body's current state. It reveals how your diet is truly being processed, how your liver is detoxifying, how your energy pathways are functioning, and how your gut microbes are contributing to these intricate biochemical reactions. If microbiome sequencing tells us who is in the gut, metabolomics tells us what they are doing and what impact they are having. We might discover, for instance, an unexpected accumulation of certain toxins or a deficiency in crucial vitamins produced by specific gut bacteria. This level of insight moves us beyond merely identifying microbes to understanding the functional consequences of their presence, allowing for interventions that are not just probiotic, but truly metabolic. And then there is the foundational blueprint of our own genome. While our genes are not our destiny, they are undoubtedly our predisposition. We are learning how subtle variations in our DNA can influence everything from our ability to digest certain carbohydrates, think lactose intolerance, to our immune system's propensity for inflammation, or even our individual responses to specific nutrients and medications. By integrating genomic insights with microbiome and metabolomic data, we begin to unlock a truly holistic understanding. We can see how your genetic makeup might predispose you to certain gut conditions, how it influences the composition of your microbiome, and how these two forces interact to shape your overall health. Perhaps your genes make you particularly sensitive to gluten, or exceptionally efficient at absorbing certain micronutrients. This three-pronged approach, genomics, microbiome, metabolomics, creates a highly detailed, multi-layered map of your internal landscape. Beyond these molecular explorations, imagine advanced, non-invasive monitoring tools that allow for real-time insights into gut function. Perhaps smart sensors gently integrated into our daily lives could track subtle shifts in gut motility, inflammation markers, or nutrient absorption, communicating directly with personalized health platforms. This immediate feedback loop could empower individuals to make tiny, informed adjustments throughout their day, fostering a dynamic, responsive partnership with their digestive system. Yet, as we embrace these remarkable scientific advancements, we must never lose sight of the profound wisdom that resides within us, the subtle language of our own bodies. The future of personalized gut health is not merely about data, it is about the integration of science with intuition. It is about using the precision of diagnostics to inform and deepen our innate capacity to listen to our gut. This means that data-driven self-care becomes an art form. Your personalized profile might suggest a specific array of prebiotic fibers to cultivate beneficial bacteria, or targeted postbiotic compounds to support gut barrier integrity. It might recommend a precise timing for meals based on your unique circadian rhythms, or specific anti-inflammatory foods that resonate with your genetic predispositions. But these recommendations are not rigid commands. They are starting points, informed hypotheses to be tested against the lived experience of your own body. The art of listening, then, becomes an elevated practice. With scientific data as our guide, we learn to discern the subtle cues of our gut with greater clarity. Is that slight bloating a sign of a microbial imbalance, as suggested by our metabolomic profile, or merely a transient response to a new food? Is that energy dip linked to a specific nutrient absorption challenge identified by our genomic data? We learn to fine-tune our dietary choices, our stress management techniques, and our lifestyle habits, not just based on general guidelines, but on a deep, evidence-informed dialogue with our own internal landscape. This integration also opens doors to sophisticated biofeedback and self-regulation. Imagine learning techniques to consciously influence your vagal tone, to modulate your stress response in real time, or even to subtly shift the activity of your enteric nervous system through breathwork and mindfulness, all while monitoring the physiological impact of these practices. This empowers us to become active participants in the orchestration of our own gut health, moving beyond passive consumption of supplements or treatments to becoming skilled conductors of our internal symphony. This holistic paradigm shift, born from the marriage of cutting-edge science and timeless self-awareness, moves us far beyond merely treating symptoms. It propels us into a realm of true systemic optimization and proactive disease prevention. When we understand the intricate interplay of our genes, our microbes, and our environment, we gain the power to intervene long before imbalances escalate into chronic conditions. We can identify vulnerabilities, mitigate risks, and cultivate resilience from the inside out. The gut, we now understand with profound clarity, is not just a digestive organ. It is a central hub, the root system of our being, profoundly influencing our brain, our immune system, our metabolism, our mood, and our very vitality. Personalized gut health, therefore, becomes a cornerstone of truly preventive medicine, allowing us to foster optimal well-being across all dimensions of our existence. It's about creating an internal environment where thriving is not an aspiration, but a natural state. Of course, with such powerful knowledge comes profound responsibility. As we journey into this future, we must ensure that these advancements are accessible to all, that the benefits of personalized gut health are shared equitably across our global community. We must also remember that technology, however sophisticated, is but a tool. It must always be wielded with empathy, wisdom, and a deep respect for the human experience. The human connection, the compassionate guidance of informed practitioners, and the simple act of listening to another's story will remain invaluable, complementing and contextualizing the data. So, let us envision this future together, a world where each individual lives in profound harmony with their internal ecosystems, where the gut's wisdom is understood, honored, and actively cultivated. A future where wellness is not a struggle against illness, but a vibrant, ongoing dance of conscious collaboration with the ancient, intelligent river that flows within us. This is not just about avoiding disease, it is about unlocking unprecedented levels of energy, clarity, emotional balance, and joy. This journey, our shared exploration of the essentials of gastroenterology, has been more than a lesson in anatomy and physiology. It has been an invitation to wonder, to introspection, and to a deeper appreciation for the miraculous complexity that defines us. As we conclude this chapter, I invite you to carry this sense of awe forward, to continue listening, learning, and cultivating that intimate, lifelong partnership with your own extraordinary internal universe. May your path be one of continuous discovery, guided by the quiet wisdom of your gut, and illuminated by the ever-unfolding marvels of life itself. Thank you for joining me on this slow and thoughtful adventure. The journey, I assure you, has only just begun.